are back for the second part of our banking videos. In this video, which is the second part, we are going to be covering reconcile. What we did a little bit different though is we logged into a sample QuickBooks login because it has so much more data and we need a lot of data to look at reconciliation. So I'm going to click on reconcile and the screen will pop up over here. So the first thing you will see over here is to check which account you want to reconcile. We're going to do the checking. We're going to say the ending balance is $69,054.15. Then the next thing over here is a service charge. Usually checking accounts may or may not. So if it does, you can put the service charge of, let's say, $2. Interest earned is usually in savings account, so it would not most likely apply it over here. You would hit continue and you're going to have the screen pop up. Make this a little bit bigger. And the idea is to basically look at your bank statements and match every transaction on your bank statement that's over here. So if you see this on your bank statement, you would just put a little check mark here. Right away you'll notice that over here it says deposits is $41.50 so far. So if you know on the deposit side that there's a total deposit of whatever, this is where you look against the statement and have another way to verify that the amounts that you're checking add up to what the statement says for deposits. Because at the end of the day, the difference over here needs to show 0. So over here, as I start checking on this side, you'll see this number starts going down. Another thing I can do is I can mark it all. I can mark everything, or I can unmark everything. Obviously, if the easy way to mark everything, and that's going to make it 0, obviously it doesn't, so I'm going to unmark. And we're back to our process once again, where we're trying to reconcile stuff. And we're trying to make the number get down to 0. And if it does not match down to 0, this is where you reference these two right away. And you could tell, okay, the deposits seem to be fine, but the checks and payments is off. So now you know that the error lies on this side, not on this side. If you want to look at a specific transaction, you can double click on it. It's going to open up. And over here, if you notice that the amount was wrong, this is where you can come in and change the amount to $41.27.50. Hit save and close. Hit OK. Well, I guess I got to change it over here to $41.27.50. Save and close. And this is how you can change a transaction on the fly as well. And the idea is to get this down to 0. So if I really want to get down to 0 right now to show you an example, I can either start adding more stuff up over here and start bringing that number down. Let's go for a big ticket item number. See how that number is getting down. And once again, this is just showing you of what the goal is over here. Now you see that I went over that number, so I'm going to take this down. I'm going to take this down. I'm going to take this down. And now there's a difference of negative $11.72.93. What I could do is I can come over here. I'll make this just to show you $11.72.93. I guess we cannot modify this one, so I'm going to go to a different one that I can modify. Or what I could do is go to write checks. I'm going to write another check for $11.72.93. It really doesn't matter. Hit save and close. I'm going to go all the way down here. Here's that transaction, $11.72.93. Difference is now 0. And now I know that I can hit reconcile. By the way, over here you could sort things out by the date, by the check number. So if it's easier for you to look by check number at a certain point, or by amounts. So definitely use this as well. I use this feature all the time. But for right now, we were able to reconcile, and I'm going to hit reconcile. It's going to ask me over here if I would like to see my reports, we're going to hit both. For now, we're going to display them. And this first report is a summary, and lets you kind of know. And you could obviously either take it to an Excel or save it or print it. This is something that you want to keep records of in case something goes wrong. You have something to reference. And what's even more important is also the detail, because the detail will tell you what was included. The detail is going to tell you what was included in this reconciliation, which is also very important. That way you can backtrack. So we are back home. We're going to go to reconcile. And let's pretend that it's been a month and we want to reconcile the same account. However, you notice that this time your beginning balance does not match what's on your statement. It basically usually means one of two things. It means within those 30 days, you must have done something with a transaction that's previously been reconciled. You either changed the amount or you deleted it. The first thing you want to do is go to locate discrepancies. Then you're going to do discrepancy report. Right now we don't have anything in there because we don't have any problems, but usually you will see an entry over here. It kind of gives you the amount, and what you have to do based on what the information gives you, you'll know how to fix it. It's a case-by-case basis. I can probably show you a few different examples. We'll get into more of that later on. Obviously, if you have a specific scenario you can't figure it out, go to our Excel help section, put in a question, and we will try to help you out. But the whole point is this report is going to show you where the discrepancy lies, and most likely whatever that number's off. If you're off by 1,000 and you see $1,000 over here, then you know that was the problem. Okay, and you can either try to fix that, which is usually the best way to go about it. If you feel like you can't fix that for some reason, and something is wrong, and then the last thing you could probably do is go to undo last reconciliation. So you would go over here, and that way you could redo your reconciliation and figure out where that problem lies. But once again, the discrepancy report normally will kind of give you that idea, and you can fix it without having to undo it. Because if you undo the reconciliation, you have to redo it all over again. It's a lot of work again. So you really don't want to have to do that if you don't have to. Okay, try to use a discrepancy report and simply just make the adjustment on the new month. Even if you did something wrong, you can always redo the adjustment. Okay? And that takes care of the discrepancies and undoing the last reconciliations. I'm going to hit cancel. Back to reconcile. And the last thing I want to let you know, you could do the same thing for your credit cards and for a lot of things like PayPal. So you could reconcile your savings account, your credit card account. It's all the same philosophy. It all works the same over here. And you simply just have to match one transaction to another, reconcile it, and that way you know your numbers are not 99.9, but they're 100% accurate. If you ever get audited, it all comes down to reconciliations and how accurate you keep your books.